were asking the game about the worst defensive performance in New York City basketball history, he may have been right. But I will say this, very, very impressed by the scoring acumen of both teams. And if they can shore up their defenses, both teams will make a run and march. And I mean a deep one.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Another sport like the NBA, which is dealing with its own, scandals, so to speak, and its own headlines with the FBI and what else comes, because this is the same FBI team that also brought the NBA scandals to light. So I'd have to imagine they're working on some other stuff as well right now, and the timing is definitely not a coincidence, but definitely some very significant news in the gambling world that now you're not going to be able to bet more than $200 on a specific pitch market.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The 35 cents, though, for yes on Ohio State.
Yeah.
I like that, Donnie. I think there's value in that right now because we only got, 3 weeks left to go. Then we'll have conference championships. Yeah, the more they keep winning, and they will win, the more that will increase, and that's a pretty good return on an investment there with Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on Sport.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day here on the grid on a fabulous Football Friday. Yes, we do have some college football. Scott Wetzel and Gabriel Morency for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, analyzing, and, of course, betting on the world of sports. College football, too, halfway decent games, all things considered. We got college basketball, we got NBA, NHL, college football opposite picks with a pick that is absolutely one of the absolute toughest I've ever given out if you do go opposite in the 25 years I've been doing this. That'll come up a little bit later on. Before we get to it all, though, game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
So far, the Louisville Cardinal offense is betting me off, getting shut down and shut out by Clemson. Still early, obviously, in this game. Big game for the Louisville Cardinal. Pretty wild that the Clemson Tigers, a football team that I will be the first to admit I thought was going to be a playoff team this year. And here they are right now fighting to qualify for a bowl game right now. Right? Like, wow. I mean, speaking of like things I did not expect to see, but we got a 3-0 game here. We got a big one coming up with the Ducks tonight as far as the playoff picture is concerned.
Yep. So we got 2 games with really one team playing for a little something, Louisville and Oregon, the other team playing for basically nothing, unless you want to consider bowl eligibility, a little something here. But a little time for a little opening pickoff here, Gabe. Our 4 best plays for the night, at least from the early games. Anyway, I'll start with a little NHL. Why not? Since the one football game's already underway. I'm not really in love with the second game, but let me go under 5.5 Philadelphia at St. Louis. The Flyers very quietly turning into a real good under team, 7-1 under their last 8. The series last 5 meetings, 4-1 under. It's 5.5. I prefer going under on 6.5, but it is what it is. I don't think it's going to get to 4-2. Let's hope for a 3-1, 2-1 type of game. So give me under Philadelphia at St. Louis tonight.
I'm going to start off with the college football game that kicks off in a little less than an hour's time. The Ducks, the Golden Gophers. Minnesota goes to Eugene. They take on the Ducks. Listen, it's a lot of points, but it's a lot of points for a reason. And don't be fooled by the fact that Minnesota is 6-3 straight up this year. They've only covered 2 football games, and they've played 3 road games this year, guys, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They lost 27-14 at Cal. They lost 42-3 at Ohio State, and they lost 41-3 at Iowa. They've been outscored by 96 points when they go on the road. Now, listen, if you lost by 13 at Cal, I'm not so sure 25 is that much of an ask, actually, at a night, during a night game. I sometimes think, it's at night and it's overblown, but Eugene is one of the toughest places to play. Indiana is the only team that's gone in there and's been able to beat these guys. I'm expecting the Ducks to roll tonight. Look for the Oregon Ducks to rout the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
All right. My second one, a little NBA. How about the Dallas Mavericks getting 3 against the LA Clippers? We played them the other night. One of the better players got hurt. This is more of an anti-Clipper play. They are on a monster, ugly, computer freezing, as we like to say in opposite picks. 0-9, folks, against the spread. Yeah, the Clippers have lost 9 straight against the spread, and they're not winning games and just not covering. They're losing most of those games outright. They got no business being a road favorite. Give me the Mavs plus the 3 at home against the Clippers.
I'm going to go with a team total, something I don't often do on the program. But as I noted, all right, they scored 14 points when they went on the road at Cal. They scored 3 against Ohio State. They scored 3 against Iowa. The Ducks defense is one of the best defenses in the country, and they're even tougher to score on. It's loud as hell. It's the fans are right down on top of you there. It's like a Pacific Northwest thing, man, where crowds are loud and it's tough to deal with. That place is a really difficult place for offenses to go on the road and score. Indiana was the only team that scored on them this year. If you look at the Ducks this year, they held Oklahoma State to 3 points. Oregon State scored 7. The Badgers scored 7. Now, the team total was 10.5 for the Golden Gophers, basically, earlier in the week. It got bet, and it's down to 9.5 now, which is kind of a key number, but we're getting plus 130. So let's go Minnesota Golden Gophers to score less than 9.5 points tonight. Plus 130. I wouldn't be surprised if they only scored 3 points, or maybe they score a touchdown, but I do not think the Minnesota Golden Gophers are putting many points on the board tonight. Under 9.5, Minnesota team total.
Wow. All right, you're going to have to sweat that one out no matter what. You could be being shut out in the fourth quarter and still have to sweat that one out. But my third one is a rarity in the NBA. You don't see this too often. I'm going to grab San Antonio laying the 2.5 against Golden State. What's the rarity, Scott? Well, they just played Golden State on Wednesday. You get that home-and-home series every once in a while. Yeah, but this is the second game in San Antonio. So it's back-to-back games in San Antonio. Spurs blew a double-digit lead in game number 1. They got to be chomping at the bit to get back on the court. People always like to avenge those things, and now they get to avenge it against the team that actually rallied against them, Golden State. I don't think the Warriors are going to beat the Spurs 2 times in San Antonio, who were 5-0 heading into Wednesday's game. Give me San Antonio minus the 2.5 at home in a strange home-and-home series.
Kind of shows what a joke the NBA has become. Like when they're so cheap that they actually have teams just staying in the city to play the games, so they don't have to go back later in the year. That's that's WNBA stuff. Look, the Liberty are playing the Wings for the 3rd time in 9 days, but here we are. All right, so college basketball. The Michigan Wolverines, man, they've been pretty active this week. It's been a busy week for Michigan. Feels like just yesterday they played Wake Forest, but it was a couple of nights ago. So Michigan have only played 2 games this year, but they put up 206 points in the 2 games that they played. Right? They scored 85 points against Wake Forest. They dropped 121 on Oakland, which you'd say, all right, that's Oakland. Well, Purdue struggled with Oakland and got into the 70s. The Houston Cougars just played the Oakland Grizzlies. They got into the 70s only. Michigan's offense is legitimately one of the best offenses in the country. They're incredibly deep. They're going to score on a TCU team that just gave up 78 points to New Orleans. All right, New Orleans beat TCU 78-74 the other night. This total has been steam, man. It opened up at 157 earlier in the day, 157.5, and the Sharps have bet this thing up to $1.60. So I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you we're getting the best number right now, but look for Michigan to hang 90 on TCU tonight and this game to go over the number.
All right, my last one will be college basketball as well. I'll use the Iowa Xavier game. They just tipped off. The over/under is 141.5. Right now it's 140, so basically the same thing. 3 minutes in against Xavier. That's a low number. Iowa has no problem running and gunning up and down the court. They're a little different scenario this year. They don't have the players they had last year, but 141.5 against a decent Xavier team. Iowa put 100 on the board against Robert Morris, albeit Robert Morris. I get that, but that tells me that they have no problem continuing the running and gunning that they normally did under Fran McCaffrey. So give me the over 141.5. Iowa against Xavier at home against the Musketeers.
Yeah, I think the point spread's a little bit too high in this game. I was looking at the dog, but I didn't pull the trigger. But a Big Ten team that I do have my eye on later to fade the UCLA Bruins. You got Arizona and UCLA coming up a little bit later on. The UCLA Bruins guys are 3-0 straight up this year. They're 0-3 against the spread. They were literally favored by like 30 points in every game they played. It was like, 26.5, 29.5, 29.5 type deal. And if you look, man, they beat Eastern Washington by 6 points. They beat Pepperdine by 11. They beat West Georgia the other night as like 34.5-point favorites by 21. You add it up. Now they're playing a real team for the first time this year. An Arizona team that's already, beating the Florida Gators. Cole Pete is one of these new phenoms in college basketball. He dropped 30 on the Gators. Look for him to go off. UCLA aren't a bad team, but Arizona are a great team. Arizona beats UCLA tonight.
Yeah, I like that one as well. I think the game goes under 155.5, but I like that. That Arizona team could be a special team. It really could. All right, just underway. Opening kickoff in the books. We'll have more plays, obviously, over the next 2 hours. Keep it where it is. In-game live game day on the grid.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball is back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to nothing.
Keep that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carden Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim don't leave New York, Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays for you.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. We are underway. We got 2 football games tonight. I'd rather have 2 than 3 MAC games. With these 2 games, at least halfway decent. Although, really, I wasn't in love with either one game. Did like Louisville. I was getting them basically a pick 'em at home. And same thing, I'm holding on to a Clemson to reach the college football playoff ticket from the beginning of the year, which obviously is going to go up in smoke. I thought their road with the ACC being as bad as it was as easy as can be, and I figured the number would be lower once they got in. But at 4-5, realistically, do they really care about going to the Blue Bonnet Bowl? I kind of doubt it. That's why I figured Louisville fighting for a little something, laying less than a field goal. It's 3-3. They just finished the first quarter, but I'm on your side when it comes to this game. I think you mentioned you like Louisville as well, so they're laying 1.5 right now.
Have not quit though on the season. It's the one thing they've done a good job on.
Won last week. Yeah.
Right. They beat Florida State last week. They obviously they're disappointed in the season, but they're not going to be in the, for the record, the Blue Bonnet Bowl doesn't exist anymore. I wish it did, but it doesn't. And neither does the Blue Gray game either anymore, unfortunately, on Christmas morning. But they're Clemson. So, they'll get into they'll play in a reasonable bowl game. I mean, they're all stupid now, to be real. I mean, if you want to get into the sponsor names of them and stuff, it's all dumb, right? I mean, if you were told, if you were a coach 40 years, so you guys are going to work your ass off. You're a player. You're going to break your leg. You're going to go through the blood, sweat, and tears. But don't worry. At the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, we're going to the effing Pop-Tart Bowl, guys. So let's get fired. You know what I mean? But the Pop-Tart Bowl is a popular bowl. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's become one of the. It's insane to say, but it's become one of the popular bowl games, the Pop-Tart Bowl, and they're getting good teams. Right, so they're not going to play on a January 1st bowl game, Scott, but they're Clemson, and dude, it's all a business, right? It's all about selling tickets. That's why, a lot of these MAC teams, I feel bad for them. It's they're trying to get to 6. Yeah, you know what? You might not get invited because you won't sell any tickets. You know what I mean? It depends on the season whether they need bowl teams, because sometimes there's not enough teams with 6 wins, and they start to panic.
Yes.
Right? And, we'll change the rules for this team and blah, blah, blah. And, they start to freak out because there's 43 bowl games, guys, or whatever. 40, 41 bowl games this year, I think. 40, 41, whatever. Not including the playoffs and stuff. It's a lot of teams you need. You need 80-plus teams. So, that's how you get these 6-win MAC teams that end up in these bowl games, but they can't sell tickets. So, they're only, you know what I mean? Clemson can sell tickets, Scott. That's my point. You drop them in Charlotte in a Pop-Tart Bowl, they're going to draw 30,000 fans on their own.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's going to happen, too, Gabe, is there's a draft now. Most conferences, ACC included, they have designated bowls, and those bowls draft teams that don't make the ACC championship. It doesn't
Not
go
teams,
by
conferences. They're locked in. So it's boring as hell. I would change this, Scott. It drives me crazy, but no, I'm glad you brought that up. We have the same damn bowl matchups every year, Scott. You said, dude, it's Big Ten 4 versus SEC 4, bro. You know what I mean? The Big Ten and the SEC play each other. All those stupid Outback, Capital One, whatever the hell you want to call them on January 1st, in Florida all day. That's why every year we get the same Iowa versus South Carolina. You know what I mean? It's the same boring matchup, Scott, because they're scared of not getting they'd rather be safe and know. We're either going to the freaking Outback Bowl or we're going to the playoffs, guys. It's one or the other. Right? But we get the same boring matchups, Scott. I like to see some random, fresh bowl matchups. That's what bowls are about. Two schools from different places, and the kids hang out, and they meet each other, and it's different. Yeah, it's these teams never play each other, but now that we get to see it in a bowl game, Yeah.
And they get excited about playing, pick a team, USC versus the Georgia Tech, where normally it'd be okay. Now they get
imagine just there's a random one. Michigan versus San Diego State. You know what I mean? There's some random, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to, Michigan's playing, South Carolina or playing Auburn in the Outback Bowl again.
For the 12th time.
Every year it's the same thing. So, it's the same thing every year. Why do you want to go to this? It's nothing fresh. Right? I mean, listen, I think teams should go from 1 to 16 even in these sports leagues. The NBA kicked the tires on it. Silver actually wanted to do it. So no more East-West stuff in the playoffs.
Right.
Like they really thought, like, you know what? It'd be cool to have like the Raptors versus the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs. Or like, let's get some whole fresh matchups to get people sort of excited. Like they kind of know people hate the league, Scott. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got to do a better job of adjusting.
Can't be that dumb.
Yeah, but they kind of know, like, yeah, we've got to do something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got to get people excited besides just like about a slam dunk on TikTok. The owner shut it down. They were like, there's no way in hell we're paying all that money to fly around. Yeah. They just shut it down. The NHL playoff format sucks too, Wetzel. Bro, you play the entire season knowing that you're going to play the team in your division in the playoffs. How does that make sense? It's like,
and you play
the second and third place. Too. The second, so you play them all year, and then you're a fan. You're supposed to get excited. Like I'm in Vancouver. I remember it was like, oh yeah, they're playing the Oilers. Oh yeah, it's only like the 12th time they played here this year. You know what I mean? Like, it's like after a while, it's like, dude, like we've seen it. Look, I'm a Montreal, growing up with Montreal. Like even people in Montreal are sick of the Boston Bruins. It's like, dude, like we don't need to see this every year in the playoffs. Like if it happens organically, like imagine if we forced like the Red Sox and Yankees to play every year in baseball. Like, oh, yeah, you're in the same division, so you guys got to play each other. It would lose its luster, Scott, right? It's supposed to be special. Like, that's what made the Yankees and Dodgers cool last year. Oh, it hasn't happened since 1981.
Yeah. Even the Subway Series with the Mets and Yankees has lost its luster, and you can't get a bigger rivalry. It's like nobody
cares
play
like
anymore.
6 times in a regular, 8 times or whatever in a regular season.
They do it too often. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they watered it down.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna get. Some of these teams that aren't allowed to have a bowl game, like Delaware, because it's first year in. There's a couple of them this year.
Missouri State is suing. Actually, Missouri State.
Are they suing?
They're suing this year. They're taking it to court. They're saying, "Give us a damn good reason why we can't play in a bowl game."
Yeah, really is stupid. Those guys will get an opportunity if there's not enough, teams that are eligible. So it's dopey. It's college football.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF
is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF now. So
he's got an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to nothing.
Keep that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim, don't leave New York, Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So I just did a real quick recap, Scott and Gabe, hour number one here. Right now, obviously subject to change. There's 2 or 3 games left in team seasons here. But right now, Gabe, there are 79 teams that are 500 or better, hence bowl eligible. 79. That's 40 games. There's 47 total. There's 47.
Oh, there's 47 now this
year.
year? Oh, my God.
47.
So they need 94 teams. They need 94 teams that aren't in the top 12. That aren't in the top 12. So you take out the top 12.
No, that includes the top 12. That includes the top 12.
Oh, no, that's what I said. So I said, no, how many non-playoff bowl games? So it's 41,
35.
40, 41? 35
so 35 traditional games and then the 12-team playoff.
Oh, yeah, because, a lot of the traditional bowl games are playoff games now, et cetera. That's right, yeah. So,
that's
so
true
35.
too.
Yeah, so are you sure? Are you sure? Like, I thought there was more. I'm pretty, if I'm on a sports trivia show, I'm guessing there's 41 non-playoff bowl games.
According to AI, looking at it right now, AI's been wrong.
AI sucks, bro. I'd rather trust Allen Iverson more than AI.
yeah.
If I asked Iverson, hey, how many bowl games? I don't know, 38, 42. He'd be like close,
Yeah. So,
dude, artificial intelligence and Grok and all that stuff, it's always wrong. I don't know, people are like, oh, that's great. I'm like, it's not great. It doesn't know. You ask it a simple question and it tells you, Mars is in space. Like, I know that. I didn't ask it.
I used AI the other day. Listen, I used AI the other day to do my my high school referee and test that they give you every single year. Right? I freaking failed the thing. I had to go back and actually look up the answers on my own. I was just typing in a question in AI and they were giving me the wrong answers. I was like, what the fudge? So, but yeah,
I'd say the same thing. Says there. This is AI. So we asked how many bowls. This is with the AI overview. There are typically around 40. That's not what I asked you. Give me a damn answer. You know what I mean? Give me an answer. Not typically 40. I'm telling you, there's 41. Let's see. Here it is. Full list of bowl games.
What do we got? Four in the playoffs. So we don't count those. So let me see if I go to schedule.
They might be right. I think it's 47, including the playoffs.
All right. So that's 94 teams. They don't got 94 teams. Right now they got 79. And some of those are going to drop. So the 5 and 5 teams that I counted could easily go to 5 and 7, just like they could go to 6 and 6. So it's
there were 43. There were 43 bowl games in 2023. I swear there was 40 or 41. But anyways, we're on the same page. I'm not arguing about the bowl committees. There's bowl committees sitting here hoping that these damn MAC teams are able to get to 6. They need teams.
Yeah, they need teams. I mean, otherwise, then you start going into the teams that aren't technically eligible because they're only first year in, and then
they don't even care, Scott, about selling tickets. Yeah. A lot of these bowls, dude, ESPN owns
ESPN.
They own
all of them.
ESPN guys literally owns. It used to be in the old days there was a Liberty Bowl committee. They owned it, like the city, the city of Memphis owned the Liberty Bowl, and they had their own committee, and they have their own, they still have their own guys and stuff, but ESPN basically created all these new bowl games. There's no Pop-Tart Bowl and this bowl and that bowl. They literally created them. They own them. And they can legit give an F whether there's 2 people in the stands because there's millions of people watching at home during the Christmas holidays betting on it, Scott. You know what I'm saying? It's made for TV. 1,000,000%. Exactly. It ain't even costing anything. Oh, what? So we flew in Miami of Ohio. We gave him a swag bag with an Xbox. Yeah, whatever. Right? We got 4 million viewers. People watch. Yeah.
We got 4 hours of free programming that we could rerun if we wanted to overnight.
And what do they do during all the bowl games, Scott? All they do is promote. And Alabama take on Georgia coming up in 2 days. It's annoying. You're watching a MAC game. They don't even do it like a MAC halftime show stuff. It's like, this week in the SEC. Yeah. It's like the MAC game is there to promote the SEC game, Scott. Yeah. It's not the other way around. You know what I mean?
And there is nobody in the stands. It's whenever they show, whenever they make a mistake and show the crowd. it. It was like 5.
I told you that. I asked. I said, how do you guys don't tell me they're averaging 15,000 a game because that's the barometer.
Right.
They're not. There's no way in hell they are. Like I told you, the Buffalo Bulls they do like a free Google doll show. Like they charge like $2 once a year that bumps their average up.
They make more money on that. Well, we can.
Yeah, Google dolls are from Buffalo.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East, and they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carden Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. Just for the record, I must say I just counted. They had a list of bowl games, and it did come to 35. So we got I'm pretty sure, not positive. I think it's 35 bowl games. Yep, and we got 12 of the conference, or the playoff. So 35, 70. That's 2 teams we're going to need. So
speaking of college football right now, Clemson just literally got we gotta slow this down and watch this over again. Like if you're I'd be calling a timeout if I was Louisville. I'd be like, whoa. Like we've got this more. They just fumbled on their 2-yard line. It was a pitch play. Klubnik snapped the ball, pitched the ball.
They're saying it's a pass.
They're saying it was a pass. That wasn't a pass, Scott.
Yeah.
That wasn't behind the dude. Look it. That was not. It was sort of behind him. That wasn't that wasn't ahead of the line of scrimmage.
If that was like a normal play game and then he pitched it to him, that would go down as a run. Like they wouldn't have that as a pass. But the fact that he bobbled it, it's kind of
They really didn't look at it very much. Like Louisville celebrated, ran off the field, and the refs no, second down, and there wasn't really much of a, hey, let's take a second and third look at this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And normally they overanalyze everything.
And you're right. First half, if I'm Louisville, I'm calling a timeout, right?
Yeah, wouldn't you have called a timeout even just to freak out and yell, even if you're not going to win? Like, I would. That's a spot where you're like, listen, no. You got to make a federal case of it. Get the stadium really angry, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's a whole game.
I don't know.
It
happened so fast. Like, Yeah. Like I would have called a timeout just to freak out at the referee a bit. But football gods don't lie. Clemson just dropped the pass wide open. Would have been a first down. They're punting from the end zone now, but would have been Ville ball on the 2-yard line.
Yeah. We got our good buddy Colby Dant, the College Experience podcast. Talk a little college football, a little college basketball with him as well. What's going on, Colb? I'm sure you saw the play there. What did you think? Was that a pass or a really, more importantly, whether it was or wasn't, as Gabe and I were talking, why don't you call a timeout and just let him look at it 12,000 times? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a fumble. Like, to me, I mean, I guess it was, like, right on the line, but this is a pitch to the running back. The way you pitched it, to me, implies that you were pitching the ball, not throwing the ball. So I thought it was a fumble.
He reached behind himself, too. Like, he kind of, it wasn't forward. Like, that's what the problem was.
Yeah, the ball.
Like, it wasn't a great pitch, Scott. Like, he had to sort of go behind, which tells me it's behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Like, dude, that was a fumble. I don't know what the hell we're doing. Like, and I don't understand how in college we overanalyze everything and review everything. I don't understand how that wasn't looked at more.
100%. I mean,
you'd be there for an hour. Go ahead.
Hey, if that's Harbaugh still in Michigan, he's got the headset off, and we're still standing there. Like, he's still bitching and pointing and like, you know what I mean? No. Like I said, you got to be over dramatic if you're a coach sometimes. You get in the ref's head too and say, "Hey, you owe us. You owe us later in the game."
I love the targeting because I feel like the announcers and the ref that is there that they cut to are right like 5% of the time. Like they're like, "No, this is clear-cut targeting." Right. And it's like, no targeting. It's like, so no one knows what it is still to this day. I feel like you can call on every play. This. Yeah. You just have no idea
because. I have ripped Gene Steratore as being like the worst on TV. I'm like, he's never right. And like the guy was a big time referee in the NFL and college basketball. And every time, Scott, there's a replay. No, guys, I think the ball hit the ground. I'm like, no, it's a catch. And they're going to come back, and I'm always right. He's never right. And then one day I'm on the Pat McAfee show, and I'm in the green room, and in comes Steratore. And he's like the nicest guy in the world and stuff. And I was sitting there thinking, man, I'm such a hypocrite, like joking it up with this guy right now. I've ripped him so many times. See, I admit to being a hypocrite. I was like, I was sitting there, how you doing, Gene? Like, I was just thinking, I was like, man, I've said a lot of things about this guy. But you're right, Colby. They're never right. I think the only guy that's pretty good, and I notice all this stuff, is Terry McAuley. I think he's on NBC, McAuley. Yeah, McAuley's pretty good, Scott.
Yeah,
he actually gets it right.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to like go.
No, he'll say, "I don't know what they see. They're wrong." Like he'll call out the refs and go, "They're wrong. That's wrong." And the other day, he even said, "He goes, I've never seen that before. I don't know what they're doing." Like McAuley calls it like it is. Mike Pereira is the ultimate like boring. This blah blah. Never, no opinion. Dean Blandino's pretty good too.
Yeah, he's not too bad. Second game tonight. I got anything? It's a big number, 20. It's up to 26.5 on FanDuel, Colb. Oregon laying 26.5, almost 4 touchdowns against Minnesota.
Yeah, I took the points. I don't love it, but I kind of they're calling for rain, or they were calling for rain. We'll see. I mean, it's Oregon. I feel like every day's rain, but I kind of think this will be like. Remember that Wisconsin played there a couple weeks back and it was like 21-7. I could see something similar here. Minnesota's defense is pretty good. And the fact that Oregon just had such a big win, and then they have USC on deck. I took the points. Don't love the game, but since we only have a couple football games, of course I'm going to go in on this. But I just think Minnesota's defense can keep them in this game enough to cover that number. So yeah, I think we're looking at something like 24-10, 27-10, something like that is what I'm hoping for.
Wow. 27 at Bet365 right now.
Wow.
It was 25, so it's getting steam late. Johnny Public and Susie Housecoat are all pulling the trigger on the Ducks tonight.
Yeah.
I think if you play Oregon, you just play the team total for Minnesota under, I think it's like 7.5 or 8, right? Like or
9.5. I gave it. Yeah, Colby is a pick. 9.5 plus 130 too. To the plus 130 because it was 10.5 all week, but it's been getting steamed. So they moved it to 9.5, which is a key number, but we are getting plus money. And like you said, the Oklahoma State scored 3 points on the road there. Wisconsin scored 7. The only team that scored on them was Indiana. They got to 30. At Oregon. It's loud. They got a good defense. I don't see. What do you think of the total of the game then? It's up to 45 now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would still go under, but like I said, I think the best play if you're going to take Oregon is take that, because Minnesota's offense is terrible. Let's be honest. I mean, you watch this, their offense is terrible, and then their best player, Darius Taylor, is questionable. I think he might play. I thought I saw someone tweet that out, but you never know.
They're far from 100%. You're right.
Yeah. So like this is a freshman quarterback on the road at a very hostile environment. So I think that take that team total under 9.5.
Kobe, I brought it up earlier. They lost 41-3 at Iowa and 42-3 at Ohio State. They lost 27-14 at Cal. I'm not overthinking this. They're not a very good road team. And now they got to go into the rain in Eugene, Oregon on a Friday night, Scott. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
The only thing, did you lay the whole game, Gabe?
Yeah, I laid the 25, and I played 9.5 under team total. I didn't play and I like the Oregon team total too, but I'm not playing everything here. Maybe I'm going to take a look at it, but you saying 8.5 now, Scott, team total?
8.5 on FanDuel.
I would just be a little bit
down. So
yeah, it's 8.5, 9, same thing.
I would just be worried about the game script of like Dante. Do you keep him in? If you're up 21-0 in the third quarter, are you keeping your quarterback in, knowing you have USC and Washington on deck? You know, like why
they
would
don't
you?
need style points. Yeah. It is true. It's one thing with the Ducks. They control their own destiny. I think they could lose one of those games too, guys. Man, Iowa came close last week, huh? Iowa had them. Man, they had them.
That pass.
Let them off the hook, like Dennis Green said. Let them off the hook.
Yeah.
We know who the Ducks were. We played them last year.
Exactly who they were.
The Ducks were who we thought they were.
Yeah. I remember that. They botched a punt, if you remember. They effed up a punt Arizona in that game when they were leading late, and they made all these.
Devin Hester.
We played them in the preseason. Yeah. You know what the goddamn Bears are.
Yeah. That was a great one. All right, let's get some winners from Colby when we come back. In-game live game day here on the Grid.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball is back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays for you.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe talking with our good buddy Colby Dan, the College Experience podcast. So a couple football games tomorrow, Colby. Let's run them down. Although Louisville just scored. Naturally, they missed the extra point. So 9-6 they lead now midway through the second quarter. Here's an interesting one. It seems to me that they got two dynamics here. Notre Dame laying 12.5 against Pittsburgh. Pat Narduzzi, he said it. He said this game is worthless to us. It doesn't mean anything. You know, I never heard a head coach actually say, speak the truth, because the only way they're getting into the college football playoff is if they win the ACC championship. And this is a non-conference game. This, he said it on Monday or Tuesday, whatever I saw it. This game means nothing. So Notre Dame is 12.5. I did see the 4-letter network promote that they're going to be there, though, game day, which you would think would inspire the kids a little bit. But I got a Notre Dame team that's looking for solid points.
You really believe that Pittsburgh don't care? You really think that kids don't care and that they don't care?
They play Georgia Tech next week. It's for
That's
first
a horrible
place next
take.
week, Gabe. Oh, well,
they're playing in Notre Dame Fighting Irish in front of College Game Day on national television. Scott, these kids are playing to go to the NFL too, bro. Like, they're not just playing because of your standings and what you think. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a conference game for them, but
when the head coach comes out and says that it doesn't matter.
Michigan, we lost to Oklahoma. I'll tell you, it mattered. I can tell you, Colby, as a Michigan fan, it mattered. It pissed me off. And we have 2 losses now. Every game matters, Wetzel. But I remember years ago, you thought Justin Herbert and the Oregon Ducks wouldn't be motivated to play in the Rose Bowl. And Justin Herbert had like the game of his life and beat Wisconsin. So, I can't believe you think that players don't care or like coaches don't care. Doesn't mean that Notre Dame won't cover, but
he said it, Gabe. He said it. He said
this game is
meaningless to us. Yeah, so it's meaningless.
So you think they want to lose 56 now?
I'm telling you what he said. He actually said this at a press conference on Monday. The game is meaningless to us.
I think he's like that. That was his shot at like the current way the sport is. I think, I've interviewed Pat Narduzzi myself before, and I've met him.
Yeah, he's playing mind games. That's what he's doing.
He's a former linebacker, son of a coach. You're telling me that his dad coached at Yale, right? You're telling me that they're not gonna show up for this? No, I think he truly will have his team ready. I just think he's taking a shot at, because the reality is, the game is devalued. I think that was his shot at that right there, because I've had to talk to him before about the playoffs, and I don't think he actually liked the playoff expansion, to tell you the truth. So that's what I read it as, but you could be right. Maybe he's just saying, hey, well, maybe we just focus on the final 2 games. But I think, come on, he's the coach's son. I just feel like they're going to go after it.
I don't know. You laid the 12.5. So you're taking 12.5. When Notre Dame wins 35-0, you guys are going to come back and say, well, let's say it's right again.
I am taking the point.
The over is the bet, guys. Notre Dame aren't going to be stopped. Listen, Pittsburgh's offense is really good. They score 37 points a game. And you got Notre Dame who are dropping 38.7 points a game on the board. 54.5 to me is a very manageable number. Notre Dame do need style points, too. We were just talking about Oregon not needing style points, right? Ducks just win, whatever they're in type of deal. Notre Dame, there's, a little backlash about them, right? They lost against the 2 good teams they played. Their best win is against USC. They are running the score up, guys, on people if they can. So I'm not saying Notre Dame can't cover, Scott, but I will take to my grave and vehemently die that it's a horrible take that the Pittsburgh Panthers won't care tomorrow.
All right. How about let's start with the biggies then. Let's go with Alabama on Oklahoma. Cole, who do you like in that one?
I took the Sooners in the points. I say this as someone that has a Bama to win the Natty ticket, but I just think there's vulnerability still on that team that people aren't seeing. Now, maybe Oklahoma's dull offense at times can't exploit that, but I think Oklahoma's defense, specifically the defensive line, can beat the Alabama offensive line, and Alabama can't run the ball. They're a one-dimensional offense. So I think Oklahoma can stay in that game. A little scared that Oklahoma's offense, since the Mateer injury, has been a little iffy. But I'm still taking the points. I think maybe a field goal game or so. And another thing is DeBoer's fire. I mean, that really Saban, DeBoer, whatever you want to say, Bryant-Denny Stadium has been a very hard place to win in both coaches' tenures. So, but I think they stay within the number because the defense they have a great pass defense. They have good corners, so good safeties. I think they can match up against them.
Low scoring game. That one.
Yeah.
Low scoring game.
Yeah.
I do not believe it. I'm a big overbetter, Scott, but I don't think this one's going to open up, man. You're talking about two stout defense. Like you said, Kobe, Oklahoma's offense is pedestrian. Let's call it out for what it is. Their defense is elite. They're going to have I think both teams, I think it's one of those first team to 24 wins type of deal, 24-20, whatever, 20-13 or something. I think it's one of those SEC slugfest games.
One of the things about Bama's defense that has been kind of like they have been a bad rushing defense all year, but they've been opportunistic on the turnovers. They've come at great times in these games. Mateer throws a lot of stupid passes. Sometimes they don't get intercepted or something, but you watch it and you're like, what is he doing? Why would he throw that pass? He's got to limit that, I think, for the Sooners to win this game or stay within that number.
How about Georgia laying 6.5 against Texas? The other big one.
I took the points here too. This one I don't feel as good about. You know what I mean? This one,
damned if you do, damned if you don't in this one. It's like, man, it's a lot of points to give Texas. Texas' defense, and then you think, man, Texas aren't going to move the ball on Georgia, but then you think Georgia can't really. It's not the best Georgia defense ever this year, Colby. It's a tough handicap, that game. Good game from a fan perspective, but a tough handicap from a betting perspective.
Yeah, and I also think like the SEC, put my tinfoil hat on. I'm like, well, they need if Texas loses, it needs to be a close game.
Right. You don't know what you're getting from either team. You don't know what kind of offense you're getting out of Arch, and you don't know what kind of defense you're getting out of Georgia. So,
kind of got to trust Georgia more, don't you?
But they're begging to take Texas, right? Making it 6.5, almost a touchdown with Texas. Like they're really begging to take Texas. So that figures Georgia would probably cover. Cole, great job as always, man. Appreciate it. Over Dan, College Experience Podcast. Check it out, your favorite podcast home.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF
Oh, is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays you.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing out hour number one. Boy, great job by Colby Dant, as always. And good job by the Louisville defense this whole first half. And then Louisville turns the ball over, and one play later, 25-yard touchdown run, and pending the extra point, Louisville will or Clemson will take
10-9.
Wow, 10-9.
Yeah, that missed extra point already puts us behind the 8 ball. It's funny, though, the point spread was 2.5. It's like, once again, the book knew. Right? Like,
somehow or another, right?
Yeah, like suddenly right now you're already into that. Oh my God, they're going to win by 2 if they get the field goal. That's still early. A lot of things can happen in this game still. But yeah, Clemson just taking. It's pretty wild too, actually, because Louisville had a lot of momentum, like in this game. Right, like they started off slow. Clemson took the 3-0 lead. Louisville wasn't moving the ball, but everything was going Louisville's way. Like, you know what I mean? They were popping, they were banging, they were scoring. Their defense is flying around. They got the ball back again. I was thinking, all right, man, you guys could really start pulling away here. Like, I was thinking in my head, Louisville is going to be up 16-3 in a minute here, Scott. And then, boom, they turn the ball over. And like you said, one play, Randall pops it into the end zone. Now we got a 10-9 game suddenly. And our 2 touchdowns in this game, of course, have come during commercial breaks, just for the record. Just to throw it out there.
Naturally.
But 2 touchdowns, they both came during commercial breaks. But I'm expecting Louisville to move the ball down the field here. I'm going to check in on the in-game over. But we got the Duck game coming up. What are you going to do with the Duck game here? I've given my picks for Minnesota under 9.5, plus 125 right now. That's the current number at Bet365. And I laid at 25, guys, but it's pretty insane. It's up to 27 right now.
Wow. I'm going to go with the under. I know everyone's seemingly betting the over. It's up to 45.5 now. The point spread is 26.5, 27, like you said, which you would think would lead towards more points. But I don't think Minnesota's scoring either. So, the days of Marcus Mariota throwing for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and Oregon winning, 50-6, they haven't done that in a couple of years. It's still a good team. Don't get me wrong. And I love Dante Moore. I really do. But they don't, blow teams out, Say what you want about Oregon and the whole coaching staff there, but they do.
Well, and one thing too, Scott,
believe it or not, second half.
Yeah, and one thing, you were talking about Pittsburgh, and I'll vehemently disagree. And I remember we had a debate about that years ago. That's why I remember. But so I'll vehemently disagree with that about, like you said, are Clemson going to get up for this and bowls and blah blah. Dude, they're players. They like playing the game, right? So they get up for every game. But one thing with Oregon. This is and listen, I was going to say Minnesota aren't a layup, but they kind of are. So this is their last layup, Scott. So it's the one thing when you're laying a big number like this. Bro, they're playing USC and Washington in their final 2 games of the season. Former Pac-12 rivals. I like how it ends like this. Right? So they're back into, oh, boy. And I'll tell you what, the USC Trojans are a damn good football team. They could beat the Ducks. Right? They could beat the Ducks. And Washington and Oregon is one of those it's a rivalry, guys. Remember we saw it with Bo Nix, man. Right? And Michael Penix. They couldn't beat him. Remember, Washington beat him twice. And the Ducks were favored in both games, Scott. Bo Nix versus Michael Penix. They were favored. It was by 3 minutes out Washington. But remember, they played in Vegas in the rematch, and everyone said, the Ducks are going to kill them this time. And Washington beat them again outright. What? Don't sleep on Washington when they play Oregon. It's like a Michigan-Ohio State thing. They can beat them.
Yeah. If they win out, Oregon's getting into the playoffs. They might not get into the Big Ten championship game, but I do think they're going to get it at 11-1 with their only loss coming against the second-ranked team in the country. I think they would get one of those.
But how about this, Scott? If USC wins out, they get in, and they're playing each other.
Right.
And it sucks for my Michigan Wolverines. Yeah, it sucks for my Michigan Wolverines because Michigan could be 10-2, Scott, hypothetically. We went out, Northwestern, Maryland, beat Ohio State, 10-2. USC beat Michigan. USC fans are pulling for Michigan big time. If we run the table and USC run the table, USC go to the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah. You get, I tell you what, though. We've discussed it, and I tend to agree with you in that if Michigan were to win out, finish 10-2, not get into the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
And they beat Ohio State, man. I tell you, I don't know how they would keep them out because it's Michigan. Maybe they would get in over.
And I'll be the first to admit that kind of will be the only signature win, right? If you look at Michigan, we played 2 tough teams this year. We went to USC, we lost. We went to Oklahoma, we lost. We've beaten everybody else. right? So we're running roughshod through the Michigan States and the Purdue's and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we're blasting through the Big Ten, right? Michigan only lost one Big Ten game, Scott. Like, people kind of forget that. Like, Michigan are still in this thing.
Yeah, very much so. Goofy tiebreakers are going to decide a lot of this stuff.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is
Numerous
great.
pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim don't leave New York, Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott and Gabe till 10 p.m. Eastern time. Got college football opposite picks. We got the coach coming up here in a little bit. We'll do a little more college football with him. Good weekend. This is by far, Gabe, the best college football and NFL weekend. NFL, we got 4 or 5 great games. College football, it's kind of like Separation Saturday here. A lot of good games. So this should be a lot of fun this weekend and hopefully make a couple of shekels along the way, obviously, which is what our focus is. Clemson leads Louisville 10-9. 2 minutes left to go in the first half there. Kicking off here, Minnesota and Oregon. For the new viewers, we kind of debated it here a little bit. Not debated it, but, pick your poison as far as where you're going to go with this Oregon-Minnesota game.
I'm going to go, I'm laying the points. Now, the point spread's getting out of control up to 27. 27.5 are now starting to pop up. When, there was 24.5 and 25 there earlier in the day. But I do think this is going to end up being one of these 41-3 type of games, 38-3. So we're going to lay the points with the Oregon Ducks. And the Ducks don't need style points. So that's another concern, right? They're the Oregon Ducks. If they win out, they're going to the playoffs. But so they're not, we got to rack it up. Like Notre Dame kind of does need style points. They don't have a conference championship game to play in. So they're going to try to end with a bang as much as they possibly can here to stay in the rankings, in the playoff rankings. And there's people are getting upset about Notre Dame and their schedule, et cetera, because they lost to the 2 teams they did. But so Oregon don't need style points, but I don't think it matters, man. Guys, like we talked about it, Minnesota has gone on the road and have gotten lit up. They've been outscored by 96 points. Literally. They lost 38-3, 41-3, and 27-14 on the road this year. Now you're going into one of the toughest road environments in college football. I don't think they get to 10 points. So I'm going to go under 9.5 plus 130, and let's lay the points with the Oregon Ducks.
I'll go with the under 45.5. I just don't think they're going to put 50 on the board. Short week. Like I said earlier, they don't really run up the score. I've seen them have like 30-0 leads and end up winning 37-0 or 37-3. They tend to call off the dogs with Lanning for whatever reason.
Yeah, they haven't been a great ATS team this year in these big spots.
Yeah.
They haven't. Like I said, there's been a couple of times earlier in the year they played to right around the point spread. They were rolling against Purdue on the road, and like you said, they gave up like 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes. It was very frustrating because I was on them. They laid like 23 or something on the road at Purdue earlier this year, guys, and they were legit winning like 31-0 with 3 minutes left. You could argue he's one of the worst beats of the year type of deal. Like it was like 31-3 or 31-0 with a couple of minutes left, and Purdue legit scored twice in the last 2 minutes to blow the point spread up. So. But
Purdue,
one thing's a little deceptive, Scott, and weather, I get it, no excuses, but the Wisconsin game was kind of bad weather in Wisconsin. They played like in the they played in the Midwest a couple of times, like what was it, Nebraska, right, or whatever it was. Like they played in the Midwest a couple of times where they just sort of escaped and like, all right, we're gonna win and get out of here type of deal. But I just tuned in here right now. It's not even raining right now. In
Rutgers
Eugene,
is the only game. The Rutgers game was the only one where they really, and that came after they lost to Indiana, so they had a point to prove. But outside
I need one
of that,
more win from Rutgers, Scott. One more win. I got over 5.5. Give me one more win, guys. And it's got to come. Like,
they got to
play Ohio State. I think it's a bye week this week for Rutgers, and then they end with Penn State and Ohio State.
That's right, Penn State, They could beat Penn State, this year. Penn State will be playing for nothing. If they lose tomorrow, they got to win
it's the last game of the year. You know what? I'm thinking I'll take your side on this, not that the kids don't care, but there's a bunch of NFL caliber players on Penn State. Will they play, like, at some point? You know what I mean? Like, at what point does some of them say, all right, listen, it's been real. I'm going to the NFL Combine next month, so I'll see you later. Yeah, have a good one. Did you see the story I just got? The Miami, Ohio quarterback quit on the team last night. He quit. Finn.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously. He left after the game. He said, all right, I'm going to the NFL. I got to prepare for the NFL.
Wow. That's the kid from NC State, is it not? Finley?
Yeah, it's like, dude, we're going to no, that's another one. That was TJ Finley. He was at Finn before was at another school, though. It's hard to keep up. But, yeah, Finn was at another school. But, yeah, Scott, like, dude, they're 6-4.
Yeah, they're going to a bowl.
But they're going to a bowl game. They're 6-4. They might be going to the MAC Conference Championship game. They just won again. Like, the kid said, nah, I'm done. I'm good. See you later.
Wow. That's funny. I mean,
remember Bo Prabula last year with Penn State? He transferred like a couple of days before the playoff game.
Yeah.
The backup quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He said, listen, I'm leaving. I'm going to Missouri. See you guys later. Good luck in the playoffs this weekend. It's a new thing, Scott. So I like the players. I'll die on this one. That the kids tomorrow on Pitt, they care. But in a couple of weeks, I guarantee you, dude, there's going to be a lot of players, man, that are going to be getting advice from their people. Don't play. Like, you got nothing to gain, kid. Penn State aren't even going to be going bowling, Scott. What the hell are you going to play in this last game against Rutgers for? If I was on Penn State, I'd play the last home game for them, and then I'd be like, I'm out. You fired the coach. I don't owe you anything. I'm out. Like, I'm not getting hurt for you, like playing Rutgers, like when we're a 3-7 football team or 3-9 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, legitimately. That's realistically
Scott,
what they
imagine
can be.
like the running backs, like a second round draft pick, Scott. I won't call a kid out. I'm not gonna I wouldn't risk my career for that.
Yeah. We've seen guys, get blown up in these bowl games or meaningless games.
My boy Jake Budd on the Michigan Wolverines actually got severely injured in a bowl game. He never the same after.
Yeah. So it's like, where do you figure out the line? That's not a bad one. Last home game. Senior day, I'll pay the respect to seniors and everything. And then after that,
the fans,
you know what?
Yeah, like really, you're going to risk, like, let's look at their schedule here. Like, if you're on Penn State, you're really going to risk injury. Like, I'm talking like not every kid on Penn State, but Penn State are good guys. Like, I know their season blew up, but they've got like 10, 12 guys that are going to the NFL type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to think, like, this is serious. I did my job. I did my bit. I played hard for you. I'm here. So you got Penn State at Michigan State. Yeah, here we go, Scott. Penn State at Michigan State this weekend. Nebraska at Penn State next weekend. That would be my swan song. And I would even tell them up front, this is it. My swan song. I'm not playing in the Rutgers game.
Yeah. Yeah, I would too. They've lost 6 in a row. Do they really want to go?
You're gonna Piscataway, New Jersey? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Play Rutgers. We're battling for a bowl berth. Like, it's just like, I'm not doing this. No. Like,
most of these kids, they could have gone pro last year. They all came back. That was the big thing about it. You guys
that's the whole thing. You're right. Yeah, it's like, I already came back to win for you, son of a bitches. And I'm not playing for it now. Like, and we can't call him out for it. And this is the new thing. Like, even my Michigan Wolverines last year, Scott, like, we played without like 17 guys in the bowl game. They all said, yeah, we're going, we can't play. Like, we've been advised we can't play in this game. We still beat Alabama. We still beat them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the new thing. So I'm with you on that, but they don't lie about it though. Right? Like, they don't lie about it, at least. Like, they're like, yes, I'm not playing. It's not like I don't care, but I'm just like, I care, but I can't play. I can't risk injury. No. And I totally get it. I don't blame them.
Yeah. They'll go to the game and get the gift basket, though. Oh, yeah, they'll do that. They got no qualms about that, a bowl game if they go to a bowl game. But otherwise.
Yeah, that used to bother me. I've changed. I've adapted. So I used to be like, dude, I ripped McCaffrey. He was the first one to do it, if you remember. Christian McCaffrey was the first college football, like, good player that said, I'm not playing in the bowl game. And, man, I called him a quitter at the time, Scott, and I wouldn't draft the kid. I don't, you got to play. You don't want to play. You screwed your teammates over. And here I am 15 years later, and I'm like, I wouldn't play either. Like, I totally, like, you know what I mean? I get it now. Yeah. Totally get it.
Barry Bennett, the coach, coming up next. We'll do some college football talk with him.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, brother, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the major thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Scott and Gabe, as we welcome in a little college football talk with the coach, Terry Bowden, the host of the Bowden Blitz, with our boy Joe Lisi. You see here all the time here on SportsGrid. Coach Scott and Gabe, how are you on this Friday evening?
Got some really good teams playing on a Friday night. We don't get them quite this good every week, but I'll be up late because there's a good one coming on after the Clemson-Louisville game.
Yeah, well, who do you think's going to win? I mean, I think Oregon's already threatening to score. Believe it or not, they just kicked off. Who'd you like in that game?
Yeah, I like Oregon in that game. You know, Iowa is a you know that old saying, it never rains in Southern California. They should say it never snows in Southern California because Iowa won't snow, they won't sleet, they won't ice, they won't get it in Southern California. I like their offense. I don't think Iowa can score enough points to keep it close. I think Southern Cal pulls away. You only need 7-point win, so I just can't see Iowa scoring enough to keep up with them.
Yeah, Minnesota, you mean. Minnesota, obviously, not Iowa.
I'm sorry.
Iowa last week in the rain.
Yeah, I was last week. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And they nearly won, Coach.
Right.
I got to give you credit, Coach.
Oh, I was talking about Iowa and Southern. I was talking about Southern Cal and Iowa now.
Right.
Touchdown Ducks.
Right.
Touchdown Ducks. They just punched it in. But you were right, Coach. Remember we spoke last week, and we thought that Iowa, speaking of Iowa, had a chance against this Oregon Duck team. And, man, they came close to pulling off the win. If ends and buts were candies and nuts, they didn't. But I got to give you credit. You warned me. You were right. The kid was way overwhelmed, the quarterback of Missouri last week. So I just had to tip my cap to you about that one. But
well, you know, when you coach a long time, I was going to say, Gabe, when you coach and you go through a football season, all of a sudden you're down to a backup quarterback or a third quarterback. You can't imagine how much that limits what you can do. It's not like the NFL where you got all day long to work. It's very limited what you can do, and I could just see that happening to them.
All right, one of the games tomorrow, Gabe and I got back and forth on this, Coach. Notre Dame at Pittsburgh. Game is everything for Notre Dame, obviously. Pittsburgh, the only way they're getting into the playoff is to win the ACC, and they got a monster game against Georgia Tech next week.
Yeah.
If I'm Pat Nordizzi, I'm sitting everybody. I'm not playing anybody. Third stringers, go play Notre Dame. Knock yourself out. What is the point of getting myself beat up tomorrow?
Yeah, you sound
I
like Joe
disagreed
Lisi.
with them vehemently, Coach.
I promise you, those Pitt fans, they wouldn't rather beat anybody more than Notre Dame if you're from that part of the country. That's a huge game for them. And again, Pitt obviously has two big conference games. Notre Dame, they've got to win this one. It's single game elimination. But with 12.5 points on this game, I like Pitt. I mean, Heinzel, the quarterback, the hottest freshman quarterback, they can score points. Last 5 games he started, they've scored 30 or more points. He's thrown for 300 yards. I think Notre Dame's going to run the ball, try to control the ball. I have Notre Dame winning, but I like Pittsburgh with these points now. I'm going to tell you, I just like them at home. The way they're playing right now, I'm going to take the points in Pittsburgh.
College Game Day in the house. They got Aaron Donald as the guest, former Pittsburgh Panther. Man, the Panthers have had some great players. Growing up, that's one of the first teams I remember as a kid, Coach, and Scott was like Hugh Green, Tony Dorsett. Yeah, Tony Dorsett, Hugh Green, and Dan Marino after, etc.
Dan Marino. Mm-hmm.
I played at West Virginia. Tony Dorsett's on their team. I go to Florida State as a graduate assistant. Dan Marino, Hugh Green, Ricky Jackson.
Wow.
They had everybody. They had the best football team in college I've seen back then in those days. Of course, they won the national championship with Dorsett. You guys are talking. It was Dorsett. It was not Dorset back then.
That's right. Back then it was Dorsett. Yeah.
And we should bring up, it was Joe Theismann, right? Changed to Ryan with Heisman.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Larry Fitzgerald was on there too as well. All right, so you like the points with Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yes.
How about Oklahoma, Alabama? Pretty good one there. Alabama laying 5.5.
I like Alabama at home. They have the longest home winning streak in FBS. It's a one-dimensional Alabama offense. They can't run the ball, about $113 a game rushing the football. But Oklahoma's kind of a one-dimensional offense. But I think this is a case where Ty Simpson, the quarterback for Alabama, does not turn the ball over. 26 touchdowns, only 1 turnover for the entire year. I just think Alabama's going to beat them by a touchdown. They've got a better offense, I think, against Oklahoma's defense. than Oklahoma's offense against Alabama's defense. So I've got Alabama at home winning by the margin, and I'll take them on this game.
Coach, or Texas A&M, I asked Scott a couple of minutes ago, and I brought it up. I said, we talk about a lot of teams. Texas A&M, they get South Carolina tomorrow. I don't really think it's an upset alert type of game. The Aggies and Elko, he's done a great job of keeping these guys focused on a weekly basis, but are you buying into Texas A&M that they're like legitimate national championship contenders?
Yeah.
Can Texas A&M beat anybody in the country, in your opinion, Coach?
Yeah. On a given day, I don't know if they'll be favored on every day they play, but they can. They've shown against Notre Dame, against Arkansas, they can win big, scoring over 40 points. They've shown they can win with defense. One of the best third down teams in the country, and they're undefeated. They've done it over and over again in the best conference in America. So I don't think they have the Indiana, Ohio State. They don't have that luster, that image that they have, the way they're playing. Those two are playing, but I do believe Texas A&M, if they can get by Texas in their final game, they will be a true contender. I think they're the one team in the SEC that have shown they can go all the way.
All right, speaking of Texas, they got a monster game. Get 6.5 at Georgia. Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, Georgia, I just don't think Texas doesn't play big on the road. Sarkisian is not as good in big games as Kirby Smart. He's playing better. They're getting better down the road as they go each and every game. I know Arch has had a couple of real nice games, but in the big games, I think the defensive coordinator, head coach, you look at Kirby Smart, was with Nick Saban. Sarkisian, an offensive guy. I just don't see those people, them playing good enough in the big games on the road. This is a Georgia game all the way. I'm taking Georgia this one in the points to cover.
Well, beat them twice last year, right? Georgia did against Texas, so maybe a little bit of a hex that he has.
They only lose to Alabama. Kirby Smart, he's like, they only lose to Alabama, Georgia. Coach. Kirby Smart's like 800-0 against everyone else.
There's a mystique. There is a mystique with those guys. Hey, and by the way, let me go back to Minnesota. Take Minnesota.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim, don't leave New York, Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
yes, LLs know what that music means. Time to take out the pad and pencils, get set for the fastest, and more importantly, most profitable 5 minutes in television, Opposite Picks. What are Opposite Picks, you newbies ask? Well, we give you 7 games, 7,000 reasons why we like one team, and then we go opposite. Why? Because despite all the stats, trends, hunches, injury reports, weather reports, systems, and everything else, nobody beats the boys in Vegas. Nice little 5-2 last week. Now we've had 3 out of 4 weeks on the positive side of things by going opposite. So here we go. Let's make it 4 out of 5. Pick number 1 of our 7-pack. Notre Dame laying 12.5 against Pittsburgh, as Gabe and I have been talking about it. The game is meaningless for the Panthers. Even their head coach, Pat Narduzzi, had a press conference on Monday and said the game is meaningless. Is he playing possum? You know what? All I do know is that they have a monster showdown game against Georgia Tech for first place in the ACC next week, and Notre Dame 18-4 in their last 22 games against the spread against ACC teams, and 15-6 against the spread as Notre Dame their last 21 road games. Doesn't matter where they play, in front of touchdown Jesus or on the road, Notre Dame wins and covers. Love the Irish Saturday. Give me Pittsburgh plus the 12.5. Pick number 2, South Florida laying 9.5 against Navy. They got last week, routed by Notre Dame, right? They're on an ugly, your bookie calling you, 0-6 against the spread run. South Florida, meanwhile, on a monster 7-2-1 against the spread run. They all but clinch a spot in the AAC championship game with a victory tomorrow. Navy doesn't have a win. As good as their season is, they have yet to beat a winning team. South Florida by 25 tomorrow. Love South Florida, the Bulls. Give me Navy plus the 9.5. Pick number 3, Kansas State laying 19.5 at Oklahoma State. College football teams have 2 goals, folks, at the beginning of the year. Win a national championship and become bowl eligible. Kansas State is obviously not winning a national championship, but they can become bowl eligible with 2 wins in their last 3 games. They're also, oh, by the way, 15-6 against the spread their last 21 games against Okie State, who happens to be an ugly 2-16 against the spread their last 18 games overall. Love Kansas State here. Give me Oklahoma State plus the 19.5. Pick number 4, Missouri State laying only 4.5 against UTEP. I'm not exactly sure why the boys in Vegas continue to give this Miners team respect. They're 2-7, folks. They suck. But you know what? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Missouri State can win the Conference USA Championship in their first year in the league. UTEP 1-5 against the spread their last 6 games. Missouri State 5-1 against the spread their last 6 games. They're going for their 5th straight win. They're at home. Love Missouri State here. Give me UTEP plus the 4.5. Pick number 5, Georgia Tech laying 16.5 against Boston College. You know, if there is a team that's worse in a Power 4 conference than Oklahoma State, it's this Boston College team. They beat Fordham to start the year. 9 losses later, they sit at 1-9. They lost to Stanford, Michigan State, UConn, Cal. Not exactly a who's who of college football. They can't wait for the season to end. Love Georgia Tech to win by 20-plus points. Give me Boston College plus the 16.5. Pick number 6, Texas getting 6.5 at Georgia. I'll bite. You know what? Maybe Georgia should be a 2, 3, maybe 4-point favorite, but 6.5? You know, they already got 4 wins this season by 10 points or less. They're only 4-5 against the spread this year. Texas has won 4 in a row, including wins over ranked teams, Oklahoma and Vandy. I think they win outright. Love Texas here. Give me Georgia minus the 6.5. Pick number 7, Southern Miss laying 3.5 against Texas State. This is our wacky line of the weekend. Southern Miss is 7-2, 5-0 in Sun Belt play. Texas State is 3-6. 0-5 in conference play. Southern Miss, the home team. Texas State has lost 5 in a row. They give up over 414 yards a game, and they had 6 players suspended because of a brawl they had last week. And they're 0-7 against the spread their last 7 games. I mean, you'd have to be the biggest dumbass, dirtbag, wacko, nutcase, nincompoop, madman, nutcase, crackpot, jackass in the world to put American money on Texas State. Give us Texas State plus the 3.5. Opposite picks week number 12. Good luck, folks.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF.
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72 to
Keep
nothing.
that dude away from polite society.
Okay, by the way, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is
Numerous
great.
pops gotta go.
The Craig Carden Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim don't leave New York, Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So college football picks are in. We got 2 games going on. I'm sure Gabe has a bunch of plays he likes. He'll be on again tomorrow from noon to 3. Then it's me and Joe Ranieri from 3 to 6 p.m. So
you throw us a curveball.
How's that?
With your opposite picks, you set us up with the Pittsburgh Panther take against Notre Dame.
I love Notre Dame. Yeah, well, that's opposite of what I really like. Yes, I bet on the real stuff. The opposite stuff is what other people should be betting on.
But I do think, Notre Dame are a great road favorite, right? There's a lot of teams where it's not their spot. Notre Dame are really good on the road. Freeman has been really good. He's laying double digits on the road. I think he's 7-0 against the spread, actually, the last 7 times they've done it. We'll find out how good Pitt are. Right. I don't personally think that the players on Pittsburgh are thinking about, well, I'm not going to try as hard against Notre Dame because I want to be Georgia Tech, but Notre Dame are better than they are. And Pittsburgh's defense is suspect. So, and Notre Dame do want style points. So, I would normally I'd be like, oh, I would take Pitt, but I do agree that the coaching staff kind of understands that it's not the be-all, end-all game for them. The players will be fired up, but I wonder as the game goes on if Pittsburgh will be able to keep up with Notre Dame's offense. I think Notre Dame will get a few more stops along the way throughout the game,
Irish are one of those rare public teams, Gabe, that actually they win and they cover, despite being the public team. Their lines are probably bumped up 1, 2, 3 points more than what they should, and yet they're still, 15-6 against the spread road game, and that's winning game. That's not them covering as a 7-point underdog. Same thing, the 18-4 against the ACC. They just crushed these ACC teams, and again, all those.
A good example.
For the most part,
they went to Arkansas and they won 56-13.
Yeah.
Right, they don't take the pedal off the metal. Freeman does not let up. Coming off a 49-10 win. I don't have as many. I kind of do. I have a few that I've added and stuff like that. I'll share them. I'll post them before, we're on in the morning and stuff. But I do like the Pittsburgh Notre Dame game to go over. As I talked about, like Pittsburgh can score. Their quarterback is really good, as Coach Bowden talked about. Their offense is good. No, you can score on Notre Dame, but you can't stop them. I mean, they're scoring 38 points a game. I would expect Notre Dame to get into the 40s tomorrow against Pittsburgh. I like the over of that football game, 54.5. Oklahoma, Alabama, I'm going to go under the number. And I don't play a lot of unders, guys, but I'm going to play under this with the Sooners. Man, the Oklahoma Sooners have one of the best defenses in the country. They give up 15 points a game, and they play in the SEC, right? They're giving up 15 points a game. You think of offense with Alabama. Alabama only give up 17 points a game. They're ranked 12th in the country, 17.2 points per game, along with Michigan. Michigan give up 17.2 as well. Oklahoma ranked 9th, giving up 15.5. For the record, how about this, guys? Ohio State only giving up 8.1 points per game.
It's crazy. That is crazy, right?
Yeah, it really is. Like this far into the season. For the record, the Ducks, who we took Minnesota to score less than 10 tonight, 9.5. Ducks are only giving up 13.9 points per game. But as soon as I say that, Minnesota just completed a deep pass into Oregon territory on the other side of the 50 right now. But let's go with the under with Oklahoma and Alabama. Iowa and USC. Iowa can actually score a bit. Right, and they're not prolific on offense. Last week, it was in really bad weather last week against the Ducks, and it was the 18-16 game or whatever. But I think they're going to, get into the 20s against USC. USC, it's senior day. They're not going to let up. USC's offense is explosive. I think USC are a lot better than, they don't get talked about. There is an East Coast or Southern bias in college football. The West Coast is, whatever type of deal. And, USC are lethal, and especially when they play at home. The Ducks coming off a heartbreaking loss last week. I think it's going to be hard for them to keep up in a long run, but 48.5 in a USC Trojan game is just ridiculous. Quick bonus pick here, Scott. UConn, man. UConn game, 7-3 to the over. Air Force, 6-3 to the over on the season. It's a high number at 63.5, but it's high for a reason. I like UConn and Air Force to go over the number. Cincinnati, Arizona over the number. And I got to wrap it up here, Scott, with a football game that everybody can watch, 6 o'clock Eastern, Sunday evening, CBS Sports Network, the Grey Cup. You think the Super Bowl has been around. The Grey Cup, this is the 112th Grey Cup in this for the CFL. And we got the Montreal Alouettes. They're getting 3.5 points against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They've only played, it's wild to me that both teams have been around for 150 years combined or whatnot, and, even longer. And they've only played 2 times before in the championship. In 2009 and 2010, Montreal beat them both times. But game is in Winnipeg. People in Winnipeg hate Saskatchewan and the Roughriders. So the locals that go to the game will be pulling for the Alouettes. The Alouettes have a quarterback in Davis Alexander that is 13-0 in the CFL. You're getting plus 165 on the money line. The Montreal Alouettes are going to win the Grey Cup Sunday night. Take them on the money line. Take them plus the points if you want, but they're going to win the game. Plus 165 money line. Montreal Alouettes win the Grey Cup on Sunday night.
Would they have a victory parade if they won? Is it that big?
Oh, yeah, they do.
No?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
And in fact, I was thinking about that, Scott. I was there for a parade. They got 1 million people. In Montreal. Wow. Yeah, it'll be a big deal. Yeah, it's not the Montreal Canadiens winning, right? If the Montreal Canadiens won, there's levels to it, right? Like MLS championships and NBA type stuff. But there'll be a very big parade in Montreal. Actually, they won't get 1 million people now. The team isn't as popular as they were about 20 years ago. But they'll be it'll be a big parade. I'll show you the video after they win. It'll be a lot of people.
All right. Ohio State game. Listen, they're not playing, offensive juggernauts. I'll grant you that, but it doesn't matter. They've given up 10 points or more only 3 times in 9 games. They've yet to give up more than 16 points in a game. And they got game at Washington. Texas is certainly capable. Yeah. Penn State.
You're right.
But that's amazing.
They haven't played the toughest schedule in the world, but you can't. actually, you can't criticize it and say, oh, well, they didn't like. Think about it, Scott. You're giving an 8-point game, and as you stated, they played the Texas Longhorns, the Washington Huskies. They went to Illinois. Illinois scoring everybody, Scott, right? Illinois have a good offense. Illinois scored 16 on them. They went to Wisconsin. They shut them out, right? Penn State scored 14. Purdue scored 10. Yeah, this is a dominant defense. Like, just Caleb Downs is one of the best players in the country people don't talk about. He's their safety. He transferred from Alabama last year, so he was there last year. But he will be like a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. Like, Ohio State are stacked. Like, they're just a loaded football team.
Yeah, they really are. They might be in a position where they could lose. Well, yeah, they could lose to Michigan and finish up 11-1, and then win the Big Ten championship. And it'd still be the number 1 seed overall, even if they won the Big Ten championship.
That's the problem, though, with these games not mattering. I think Narduzzi was sort of like, it's true, like, excuse me, that game matters for Michigan. What does it matter for?
Yeah.
I guess it mattered for Ohio State, whatever. Like, if Ohio State loses that game, they go into the playoffs as the 4th team instead of the 1st team or something. Right? You know what I mean? So, yeah, they'll lose a little bit of seeding, but if they're still going to the playoffs, it won't change anything.
Still getting a home game. Yeah, still getting a home game first round. Still,
but I'm telling you, man, they're going to have to prove it and beat Michigan. They haven't done it in 5 years. They've lost 4 years in a row. Let's see if they can do it.
I'm more worried about their offense. Like, I'll accept the fact their defense is great. I don't care if you play Topeka High. You hold those.
I want to see them in a close game, Scott. Wouldn't you agree with that? Like, let's see them in a close game. You haven't played a close game yet, guys.
Yeah. Let's see how Sayan reacts. He hasn't experienced this yet, so it's been nice and easy for him. Louisville scores a touchdown, regained the lead over Clemson. We'll take a break and update those lines. Yeah, 16-10. Cards on top.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball is back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF
is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF
So he's got
now.
an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72-0.
Keep that dude away from polite society.
Okay, brother, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, 15 more minutes to the top of the hour. Take a clean little sweep of the board here. So Louisville did score a touchdown, 16-10, but Clemson's got the ball at the Louisville 30-yard line, so right down the field they go. Louisville laying 5.5, which is interesting since Clemson's in a decent position to put some points on the board.
Clemson are going to attempt a field goal here, it looks like. They just got stopped on 3rd and 6. So, yeah, they're attempting a field goal. Kind of a long one for college standards. It should be, about a 48-yarder? It is. Yeah, 48-yard field goal attempt, but no win, perfect conditions. So 16-10 Ville right now. We'll see if this field goal is good. I'll keep you up to date with it. And, the kick is good. So 16-13.
Okay. All right. Ducks 14-0 already over Minnesota. And they got the ball at the Minnesota 47-yard line. Got the 35.5. You get these late line movements, and this is one time where it seems to be headed in the right direction. They're not fooling around. Over under is 51.5. You got to get into the second half if you got the under, and then you hope that Oregon starts playing for a shutout, and it's a little more meaningful for them versus just 47-10.
You know where I stand. Minus 25 and under 9.5 for Minnesota. So I like the start.
Yeah,
let's
good little start.
For the record, in the NHL, we haven't talked any hockey tonight.
Yeah.
The Carolina Hurricanes were big favorites against the Vancouver Canucks tonight. And the Canucks are a strange team. I can tell you guys about the Canucks. They're the epitome of 500 team this year. Win one, lose one, win one, lose, win. Like they're like 8-9 on the season. They got a bunch of injuries. Now Quinn Hughes is hurt. Like, it's just constant drama with this team. But it's bizarre world, Scott. Like, a lot like the New York Rangers, right? The Vancouver Canucks, man, like the media is toxic. Like, it's extremely negative. The city, Canuck fans are negative. The media is negative. They feel it. They know it. They're good on the road. Like, it's one of these deals. Yeah. Here they are on the road, right? 3-3 in overtime. I took the Canucks plus the puck and a half tonight, and we're going to get a win. They'll probably end up losing. They often lose in overtime. And we got another 3-3. All the games are tied, Scott. We got a 3-3 game in overtime. We got a 3-3 game after 2 periods with the Flyers and the Blues. And we got a 1-1 game early here with no, Utah just scored.
Utah.
So we got a 2-1 game. Utah 2-1 on the Islanders.
We're getting some goals tonight, though. That's for sure. The over's going to hit in Carolina. The over's already hit in St. Louis. So much for that under 5.5. And then you got 3 goals already still in the first period in Utah. Tough spot for the Islanders. They're playing well. I put a little nibble on them. They were getting plus 165. But, after playing last night in Vegas, overtime game, back-to-back, you go to the high altitude.
Yeah, from Vegas into Utah in a second of a back-to-back is not an easy scheduling spot. That's going to test the endurance of the Islander players tonight, who are a young team, though, we should add.
Yeah. Playing a little better too. It was 4-1 their last 5. I mean, yeah.
a little better.
They look like
they don't
awful.
suck. They don't suck. Like, they've turned a corner.
Yeah. So that's good. I like Patrick Waugh. I'm not sure why, but I root for him. So let's hope they actually win a couple of games here. But I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but at least they're playing a little bit better than what they were. And
Patrick Waugh has
you get the one
adapted.
game.
He's adapted as a coach. Right? Patrick Waugh, one of the greatest goalies ever to play in the National Hockey League, was a coach in Colorado before. And he's always wanted to be the coach of the Montreal Canadiens, right? He's a Canadiens legend, but the Canadiens think he's insane, and he's and he's a big hothead, and he was literally So he coached the Colorado Avalanche, and he went ballistic, like a lot of good players do. Like in the old days, they became coaches, they couldn't do it, right? Like Maurice Richard was a coach briefly, and he wanted to assault players, because they just couldn't do what he wanted them to do. And it was the same thing, Magic Johnson was the coach of the Lakers. He used to get mad, and someone in the room said, Magic, we all can't do what you did. Because Magic was I don't understand you. Why can't you do this? Why don't you understand this? And they said, because we're not all effing Magic Johnson. So Patrick Waugh was the same way of, just losing it. And it didn't work. So he got exiled from the NHL. And he bought his own team. So he owns a Quebec team, and he owns a team in Quebec, the Quebec Ramparts, a junior team. and he was the coach and a general manager, and he didn't help his image, Scott. Like, he got into a fight in the parking lot with another coach. Like, it was constant, but the Quebec League is crazy. It's like the movie Slapshot. So it's like there's always crazy things that happen every night, but he was kind of a nut job and stuff. And he's very patient now, though. The Islanders, well, the young players, and, like, players love him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a player's guy because he was a player. He gets it. And he sort of learned to back off that not everybody's a Hall of Famer, right? You know what I mean? That's a big problem for like, that's why there's not, how did you notice, guys? There's not a lot of great players that are coaches after. That, like, superstars. You know what I mean? Like, who's a superstar that was a good coach?
Baseball, if you want to go to Frank Robinson, but that's way back.
And
there's not many.
He was an okay manager.
Usually, like the catcher.
He won manager of the year.
Yeah. Usually, like, it's a catcher, that's worked with pitchers and stuff, and
it's usually a role player.
Forget about it because they got so much money. Yeah,
it's a role player.
Loves baseball. Yeah,
just
I mean, like,
I'm telling you, if you look down, like, Wayne Gretzky wasn't a good coach. Magic Johnson wasn't a good coach. Michael Jordan was a terrible owner in the NBA. Yeah. You just go down a list. Like, star players, it doesn't work. And as you stated, they make a lot of money. And there's a few in soccer. So in soccer, it sort of does. There's a few. I think the one guy that would be a really good coach, and he's thought about it. He said, that he's thought about it, but he makes so much money as it is now, Scott, with his media stuff, is Peyton Manning.
Right.
Like, Peyton Manning is like a football savant type guy. Like, he likes watching tape, and he likes hanging with the guys. Like, he loves football. Like, you know what I'm saying? He loves he does the Manning cast now. Like, he loves the game. A lot of star players don't love the game, right? They just made money, and they're like, no way, I don't want to coach anyone, Yeah. I'm thinking there's got to be somebody.
Being frustrated, though. I tell you who, watching that goofy A-Roy thing last night on HBO, Alex Rodriguez, believe it or not, just loves looking at tape and all. I enjoyed it.
Detroit's going to be a top 6 team in the East. And they're going to be extremely dangerous. And it may be fun to watching that Central Division between Detroit and Cleveland. Kind of makes you think back to the old early 2000s with LeBron and obviously the Chauncey Billups-led Detroit team. But Detroit basketball's back.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
His daughter, she's on the OF.
Okay.
She's on the OF
is
now.
that right?
Yeah, she's on the OF now.
So he's got an OnlyFans daughter and a little son
who says he can beat Curry and LeBron.
And he's coaching a team that was down 72-0.
Keep that dude away from polite society.
Okay, brother, I'm with you. I didn't know any of that is.
Numerous pops gotta go.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
I can just cash out and say, see you later, bye-bye, and sell that contract. So there is a big difference. I've already said I will never, ever, ever again make a future bet with a sports book where the money gets tied up and I have to wait till the outcome of the event. Don't have to do that. All future bets for me are going to Kalshi.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the major thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Final segment. Let's recap our opening pickoff plays here. I know I got one loser already. Under Philadelphia, St. Louis. That's 3-3 after 2. So that's a loser. Got Dallas plus 3 against the Clippers. I'll check that. San Antonio just started against Golden State. Over 141.5, Xavier, Iowa. That's looking halfway decent. The current line is 148.5 as Iowa leads 75-58. A little bit of a blowout there, so hopefully we get some garbage points. And then the Mavericks, who are just god-awful, but we played them game just because the Clippers are on an 0-9 against the spread run. Where do we sit with that one? NBA is so difficult. 62-55. All right, halftime.
That's why I
not
passed.
too bad. Yeah,
you gave the Spurs earlier. I will jump in on the Spurs. I'll take the over the game as well. So give me the Spurs and the over. That's my only NBA pick tonight. I've been pretty good at like selectively. If I like the board, a game or two, I'll bet it. But I'm not forcing it with a lot of this sort of crap. Let's just call it out for what it is that the NBA gives us on a nightly basis. My pickoff is sort of all still in the air here. Oregon are moving the ball right now. I'm not a fan of this, but whatever. They're only on a 30-yard line. They're losing 14-0. So I laid the 25 with the Ducks. I went under 9.5 with the Golden Gophers team total. My Michigan TCU total is it's not really working. It's 32-31 for the record right now for TCU with 40 seconds left in the half. Michigan were like 7.5-point favorites. The total closed at 163.5. It's 4.5, 151.5 right now. So, you know what? The total just popped up to 155.5. So maybe we got a puncher's chance at the total here still in that one. And our final pick, something I think you agreed with. It's coming off the board actually now to remind people. The Arizona Wildcats to beat the UCLA Bruins tonight in college basketball.
Yeah. I like the under in that game as well. St. Mary's is going to go under also. They're one of our under teams. They're hosting North Texas. They both tip off top of the hour. St. Mary's is 129.5, and then UCLA is down to 153.5. It was 155.5 earlier today. So I'll pat myself on the back here, Gabe, in that I did do it a little bit, but I didn't go too crazy. So I like to bet monster underdogs in college basketball in the over, thinking, okay, all this underdog has to do is score 50 points or so, and then that'll guarantee at least a split. So in my mind, 2 free bets, right? So Maryland Eastern Shore tonight was a 35.5-point underdog at Creighton with an over-under of only 135.5. So all Maryland Eastern Shore had to do was score basically 49, 50 points, and you're guaranteed a split. It's like 2 free bets, right? And then I looked at Maryland Eastern Shore, and I saw they scored 29 points in a game against Georgia already this year. So I only put it in for a couple shekels, nothing crazy like I normally do. And lo and behold, Creighton wins 84-45. They cover the 35.5, and the game goes under. I mean, that's like an impossible parlay to bet. You know, give me the favorite laying 35.5 and under. And it hit. It came in.
I talked about that last night. I like the non-correlated plays. People buy into that. Well, if this happens, it goes under, and if this happens, it goes over, etc. The correlation is the road to hell, I find, with sports betting. One last game on the way. We still got a couple minutes, actually. A game here, Scott, we haven't brought up. Rivalry game. Not in the same conference anymore, but we got a Washington State game tonight. Washington State college basketball. And if you look at the history of this, Washington State are actually 6-4 the last 10 times. They did play twice last year, actually, and Washington beat them twice, 89-73, 74-68. You know, kind of close games. One of them wasn't. The one at Washington State was the 6-point game, but I think Washington are laying too many points this year. They are a pretty good team. I watched the game against Baylor the other night, and I know Washington State stumbled out of the gate, but they're coming off a nice win against St. Thomas, who we talked about the other night, who aren't that bad. Yep. Too many points, Scott, in a rivalry game. Washington State, this gym's going to be fired up tonight in this barn. I think Washington win, but not by 9. Give me the 8.5 points.
Yeah, it's a home game. Yeah, you said it for Washington State. I'll throw one more at you. Maybe 2 more. I'm going to go over Gonzaga against Arizona State. They're laying 14.5 on the road. The over-under is down to 158.5. They're one of my automatic over teams, and they've gone 3-0 under. I watched them play a couple times, and they're good. Don't get me wrong, but they don't seem to be that offensive juggernaut like they've been over the last 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever years. So I'll give the over on Gonzaga one last crack, 158.5 over against Arizona State, starting in about an hour or so. Gabe will be back tomorrow, noon to 3 with Cam Stewart. I'll be back from 3 to 6 with Joe Ranieri. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, folks. Let's get some winners.